Hello and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian D. Lerner. In this set of videos we are talking about citizenship and transmission of citizenship. This is when you are born outside the United States, and the question is whether your mother or father can transmit citizenship to you. Now the question is, in certain circumstances, the mother and father are not married, and the child is born out of wedlock. So, if the child is born out of wedlock, how can that child derive citizenship or acquire citizenship through transmission from the mother or father or both that were in the U.S.? Well, the requirement for a child born out of wedlock to acquire citizenship through his father are much more difficult than through the mother. And unfortunately, there's actually been cases that went all the way up to the Supreme Court saying that was a violation of equal protection, and of course, that was all denied. So, if your father happens to be a U.S. citizen and you were born out of wedlock, the chances of acquisition of citizenship are not nearly as good, and it is more difficult to prove. Um, Basically, the father needs to provide child support to the child while under 18, and there's various things also that need to be in writing. Um, you know, Congress, it was shown that Congress may constitutionally impose limitations on acquisition of citizenship at birth abroad, which is why the laws are that it's more difficult if a father's the U.S. citizen than the mother. Okay, now in this particular case, the mother is showing U.S. citizenship or transmitting it out of wedlock. It's actually quite easy. In many cases, all that she has to do is show that she's been physically present in the United States for 1 year prior to the child's birth. It's very easy. Now, again, going back to the father needs to show some type of legitimation of the child in order for the citizenship to transmit. So, for example, there's many persons referred to as Amerasians, for example, in the Philippines and other countries, Korea, where U.S. servicemen went, they had a child in those particular countries, and then they left to never come back. And 20 years later, the child finds out that their father's a U.S. citizen, and they try to obtain citizenship, even though they've not had any communication with the father, or the first time they ever had communication was when they were 20 years old, and the father says, "Oh, I didn't even know you were there," and says happy birthday. In those particular cases, since there's no legitimation, there will not be any possibility of transmitting of citizenship. So again, with the mother, it's easy. Just show small amount of physical presence in the U.S. Father, very difficult. You do need to show legitimation in order to have a chance at having acquisition of citizenship. Okay, more in the coming video.